I've been working on these sea urchins to make them into tassels. I did a decoupage on them, and then I painted them twice white, then toward napkins and decoupaged them on to the sea urchins so they can look like jellyfish. I'm gonna make them into tassels. So this I do downstairs, and then I'm gonna take them up to my little art room. Peace. Welcome to my channel, Bored Grandma Designs. My name is Leela and I'm from Northwest Florida. Before I take my sea urchins up to do tassels, I want to check on the situation down here. I thought I saw a big shadow of a hawk go over. I no longer have my rooster, but I have these two angels. And he was messing her up. My little princess. She lays the prettiest eggs, although she's not so pretty right now. And these girls, well, they're not doing anything yet, but being adorable. I haven't named them. They're sweet. Yes, they are. They're sweet. They're all sweet, and I don't have to worry about being attacked anymore. Because I tell you what, the rooster really took me down. So, we rehomed him. And now it's nothing but us hens. Yep, nothing but us. Yeah, my little girls. Yeah, my ladies. I can't wait for her to look pretty again. Yeah, he really messed her up. Yes, he did. So I brought the two up here from downstairs. I'm putting them with the rest up here. And then I have cut some of these ribbons and sari. And this is something an aunt had given me, my husband's aunt, that I'm using in my little jellyfish. The jellyfish, the jellyfish, the jellyfish, the jellyfish. Sorry, I used to have a voice. I used to sing in choir, but I don't have that voice anymore. So there we go. This is what I've been making. Do you like it? Can you see it? Oh my goodness, it's kind of dark out here, or in here. I should probably wait till it's light again. I took a nap. I shouldn't have done that. Now it's late. I didn't cook my husband dinner. I didn't have to. He knows how to cook himself. Well, not cook himself, but you know what I mean. And then I did this one, if you can see that. But yeah, that is what I have been up to lately with these sea urchins. They were so smelly they were gonna die. Well, they already were dead on the beach. They had washed up, had a cold spell, it killed them all. It was so many of them. It was so sad. Anyways, I was making these out of wire also. Little hooks to hang them on with these. What gauge is that? It is an 18 gauge. So I use this little pencil to do it. And in here, in this little cutter, I found these little plastic beads. I really don't like plastic. I try to veer away from them, but somebody had given me a necklace or something, but I thought they looked like bubbles. So I put them in there to like bubbles. And this, I didn't even know what I was going to do with these. It's like a paper type thing. But my aunt had given them to me, and I honestly didn't think, I thought I was just going to donate them or something, but I found a reason. I think this one turned out marvelous. This was my first one. But anyway, they're little tassels. Don't know where you can hang them, but you can hang them from somewhere, like a Christmas tree, or you can get a little hook like this, or probably make one from probably a thicker gauge than that. I don't know. But anyways, that's what I've been working on. I wanted you to see what a sea urchin looks like in its natural habitat in the water. It's got all these spiny little feet all over it that moves around. And if you'll look at the little center, you will see the teeth. They like to climb on rocks and crawl on the rocks, and they like to eat algae off the rocks and things. And then they like to walk across the bottom of the ocean, and there's like all types of the same species, hundreds of them. So I swapped sides of the room. I was over there, now I'm over here. My other videos from before, months ago, I sort of lost my way. And I haven't been on here because I've been busy doing other things, I guess. But anyways, the sea urchins, I hope you enjoyed that little clip that I showed you. There's over 950 approximate species of the sea urchins. So there's many kinds out there. Ours is kind of a blackish purple color. They say it's blue, but then they end up kind of looking like this. And when they're kind of like in little layers, if I can show you right here. They have little bumps there, which has a name. I see that. They're very fragile. That one just came off. That's what the inside looks like. But when they die, their spines all fall off, the little tubes, little legs. They have little suckers on the end of it so it sticks onto you. But yes, my husband and I were walking. We found a lot of them. It was in the winter time, and there was a bunch of casualties, so we stopped and we picked them up. And I knew I was going to make something out of them, but I didn't know when. But they were so fragile. You see how easy this comes apart. But I put 2 layers of paint on it. Then I decoupaged the napkins on there. And here's a napkin. It's not one of the napkins that I used. But what I had done is I had taken a napkin, unfolded it, and the napkins have layers to it. So I just peeled the layer off the napkin. Sometimes I'll do something with this creatively, or just use the inside as an actual napkin for wiping your face. But anyways, I would tear off what shape I want, and then I would put it on very carefully to my sea urchin, and then I'll let that dry. After I've let that dry for a while, then I would go back over it with some more Mod Podge, but I put a little bit of water in my Mod Podge to make it, you know, a little drippy, using recycled yogurt that my mother, I don't eat that kind of yogurt. It's too many sugars in it for me. I have to watch sugar. But anyways, I have found some little bubbles like I was showing you before, and what I think is bubbles are not really bubbles. I have a kid's imagination, so anyways, after I had put another layer of the Mod Podge on it, because I'm trying to toughen it up a little bit because they're very fragile, I actually put some top or base paint enamel on it. You can use whatever. If you've gone on your vacation, you've come to Florida or gone to other coastal places and have found these dead and not alive. If they're alive, please put them back. Our marine life is so precious. But I know they're a delicacy in other countries, but I'm not willing. There's a roe that grows inside of them that people like to eat, and a roe is eggs. No, thank you. But I don't know. I don't trust it. But I was given some raffia, and I didn't know. I really thought I was going to redonate it to somewhere because my aunt donated it to me because she was cleaning out her art room. And I thought, oh Lord, I'm trying to clean out my art room. But I never say no to things because I might have a use for it. And then if I don't, then I get rid of it. But anyways, I have become overwhelmed. But this is one of them. And I had used some wire to put through here and then put some of the ribbon. I found some little white ribbon that can hang, and some, I guess this is raffia, but this is something, a yarn ball that I had. And then I just kind of cut it up in strips. Here's some right here for as long as you want, and I separated them. But I'll make one. I've already got some made here. And this was one I made a while back, experimenting. And I put that one far in there, and I used nail polish. It was my daughter's nail polish. She came back looking for it, and I was like, ooh. Shouldn't have left it at my house. But anyways, I make art out of it instead of painting my nails. I do like purple, but I try to put a shine on it, but I think I need to put a heat. It's embossing stuff that my sister had given me, and I didn't know what it was. But anyways, I'm gonna put you on the top side looking down. I've rearranged everything, so hopefully this will work out. Okay, so I've moved everything this way. I do have quite a bit of things on my desk. So what I need to do next is, I haven't done one of these with the flowers. I've done some of the starfish, that's decoupage, not flowers, and then this beautiful kind of a Victorian design. I love Victorian. And then I'm going to do this one. So what I'm going to do here is get some wire, and I really need some wire cut trimmers, and they're probably downstairs, but I get some wire. And this is probably, this gauge is probably too big, actually. Let me get another gauge. Hold that thought. Okay, I'm back. I couldn't find my wire cutters. I guess maybe they're downstairs again. But I did find these so my husband can finish the job of putting a broken toilet seat on the toilet. The second landing. or guest bathroom. Anyways, so this is a 24 gauge. It's actually silver, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. And I can bend this back and forth. Make it kind of, let me see. This is about 32 inches. So I'm just gonna bend it back and forth and let that happen. And then you're gonna need a skewer. So you've been on vacation, you walked the beach, you found these crazy things, you brought them home, and the kids are in school, and what to do with these things. You can just put them in a jar or a bowl, or put them on a shelf to look at, or you can make a jellyfish. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is make the top portion. Let me take this hook off right here first, and then I'm gonna slip it through there. Hopefully I've got it long enough, because I did not measure those others, and to me this is not looking like it's long enough. Once I got it folded, of course it's a little over 15 inches, of course, and I'm gonna get a skewer and put it through here and just sort of wrap it around a number of times, like so. I guess that's about 3 good times, and then I'm going to wrap it this way. This is just what I do. There might be some really great wire wrappers out there. All right, so I did that. And in the bottom of my bowl here, look, I already have some pre-made ones. See that? They're short. So this one's kind of long. But in the bottom of my bowl here, I've got some beads that I can use, and what I've got on this one, I only had one of these, and I thought that was really pretty. Can you see that? But I used one of those endings and put a little ending there, one up there, and put a little bubble there and a pearl there. So I actually think one of them, this one right here, looked like it might have been a real pearl, but I don't know. There's a lot of oysters around here. So what I'm going to do first is, I think I'm going to put a pearl. So I'm going to look in here and find, this is not a real pearl. And I'm going to put the smaller one on here first, because this is going to actually be on the top. I can't believe that summer is over and the children are already back in school. It's hot here in Florida, although we've had a few cool days, and it's going to get hot again, I guess, by the weekend. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is find a little spacer here. This one looks like a little pumpkin. Can you see that? Can ya? I'm gonna put it on next. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to walk to the little elementary school around the corner from my house. We lived on a bayou, so we walked around the bayou to get to our school. And some little kid thought that my little sister and I actually got in a little boat and motorboat across the bay to go to school. But in elementary school, we actually walked. It wasn't that long of a walk, but kids today would probably think that it was. I'm going to use one of these that looks like a little bubble next. But, you know, school, I guess, started after Labor Day. After we had our Labor Day, then, you know, we went back to school in September. And August, we got all of our school clothes together. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is find a clearer piece, something different. Since it's blue, I've got a little cobalt blue. It's a little bit bigger than the others. Put that in there. See how I like that one, a little fuzzy. There we go. You see that? I think I want something, I don't know. Do I want something in between there? I think I do. I'm going to take it off. I got this tiny little one. It's a different color. It's not silver, it's gold color. That's okay. I'm going to mix it up. I like all the metals. And then I'm going to put this on. And then the next thing I'm going to do is make sure this is recording. All right, and then I'm going to put this other one. This is going to be on the top. And then after I've done that, one seems to be darker than the other, and I don't know why. I'm going to stick it through here. Now the hole on this one looks a little bit big, so I'm going to put it through this one. And that seems to be covering the hole some, so it doesn't go through. And the next thing, I want to pull this out. And I went to a baby show a while back. I got this little pencil, and I got a cute little bottle opener that was a pacifier. I have not seen the babies, little girls. I'd love to see them. All right, so I hope this is not too short. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go as close as I can without breaking this. It's very, very fragile. So I'm gonna go around and go around. Oh my, yeah, it's very fragile. And kind of twist this around, which I should have made it a little bit bigger. So I'll take this out and twist it around. Yikes. So maybe we could have gone to 40. 40 inches instead of 32, or even 35. But anything I do is experimental for me. I'll try to wrap that around. And normally it will just wrap around if you got enough of it. There we go. And then you can just kind of smash that in. So this is wanting to go through, and we don't want that to, but what's going to happen next is we are going to take our raffia, put all these back, these precious little sea urchins. There we go. So I'm thinking that I like my little studio better now. but I'm having to get used to it. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to get the ribbon that I have placed here. Ta-da! And I'm going to make like a tassel. So I'm going to take some blue raffia, cross it over. Now, these are really long because I know I'm going to clip them. So I'd have to get a yardstick to really measure it. I think I got overzealous on that one. This one is, yeah, it's probably about 40 inches. But I'm going to cross them over, cross that over, add some lace. I have some lace here. And I ran out of lace. This is all donated things that I have. Sometimes I find things in thrift stores, which I've not been to because I'm trying to get rid of a lot of things, take things out, not bring things in. Here's some extras here. And then I'm gonna put that right there. All right, so I have it like this, and I'm gonna kind of, I don't know, twirl it around somehow. And then I'm gonna tighten it, like make a center and kind of tighten it in the middle there. Like this, just twist it real tight. And once I twist it real tight, I'm gonna kind of hold it with my finger like this. And then I'm going to push it through that little hole. Maybe I should have used a bigger pencil or something, but I'm going to try to put that through that hole. So I need something to poke it with. Maybe I use a skewer to do it. I just patiently poke it until we get it all through there. So I try to polish my nails, but I don't see how some of you ladies, your beautiful fingernails, how you do it, and you're able to make arts and crafts and do your videos with those gorgeous nails. Because at the end of whatever project I got going on, my nails do not look the same. Well, that's not really poking through. I do have this beautiful little, oh no, maybe I shouldn't do that. I know. I've never even used this yet. I'd like to though. I've always wanted to do calligraphy. I had a whole set. Over the years, I've always collected calligraphy tips. I had a book on calligraphy, but I ended up giving it to my dad. But you know, we have the internet now. I can learn everything here on YouTube. Let me try to squeeze that through. It looks like it's making some headway. So I'm not wasting your time here. We're actually doing something. But you might want to make your hole bigger. Which, when it is bigger, not only does it go in here easily, it also keeps this from falling through that big old hole on the bottom, which I know it has a scientific name, everything does. Okay, so now that I've got that like this, I'm going to kind of put my 2 fingers like that and take the rest of this, kind of twist it around if I can. Look, I lost one. Oh well. I'm not gonna panic over it. And I'm not gonna go back and redo it. Over that one that wanted to jump ship. Okay. Da 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 da, I got it. And kind of tighten it up a little. Oh my, oh me. Okay, so that kind of goes in there a little bit, but it still wants to kind of fall through and make that little gap. So I kind of want that to be bigger. So I'm gonna find a little shorter one. Maybe the one that jumped ship. Oh, this one acts like it wants to be apart. But I only have that one green. But I also have one white lace. So it's all right. I'll put this on there. So I'm gonna kind of tie this around here, and you can hook little beads and other little things to it, little charms. I'm just gonna tie that around and go around and do it again. I meant to put something down at the bottom to diffuse that shine on that glass, but I really like working on that glass surface. Okay, so there it is. It still is wanting to kind of fall through that a little bit. So I do need to fatten that up a little bit. So you see that hole there? That's my dealio, just to keep it from going through. So you kind of work with it. Spread it out a little bit to keep it from going through. Like that, or you could probably glue it on the top. I didn't glue my other ones, but I guess I could use some glue, hot glue or what have you. All right. So, okay. There you have it, like that. And then another thing that I had done is I made these little hooks to hang them on. Can you see that? Is it too shiny? And I made several of them. You can go back in here. Some are different from others. This one is a little bit longer. And I just kind of hooked it through there, like that. So this one isn't as full as the other. You can make it as full as you want. You can add to it by hooking something through here, like a charm or what have you. That one's a little bit, you can make them all long, or that one's a little bit short for some reason. That was not intentional. But anyway, that's what I ended up doing with my jellyfish. Oh, there's another one. Not jellyfish, my sea urchins. So I made jellyfish out of them. And they'll make a nice gift. See, now it's falling. You probably put some sort of a hook there or something to keep it from falling through, but I just kind of play with mine. And you'll probably glue it. But, you know, if you have a better idea on how to solve that, you can give me a comment below. So So another little thing is the bubbles. I just sort of thought these were so cute. They're kind of iridescent, and the bigger ones were easier to put through. But I sort of did this. If you can see that, twist that through. When it didn't want to work out, I just kind of made a little point right there. Oh, did that work? There we go. And I put this through here. Did you find any seashells? Where did you go over the summer? Did you go on vacation of any kind? I went to Alabama to see my grandkids there. I took my youngest grandchild and went and visited my oldest grandchild and my 2 middle grandchildren. I don't know, I have other 2 in Arizona, so they're all over. So I'm gonna tie this. And I went with my little sister and my 2 nephews, and they had a blast. It was a cousin's annual reunion with the grandmas. So I kind of spread that out and then let it twist a little. And then I added another one. I try to go with a different size. Which is a little bit more challenging when they get smaller because the holes get smaller here. But we went swimming in this little, it was a public pool. I usually don't go to public pools, but this one was spring fed from a canyon, which was very interesting. It was so refreshing because it was such a hot, hot day. The kids had a blast together. And then my daughter made s'mores out on the lawn at night. And we watched the stars. It was a very starry night. And watched, I guess, the Space Center or whatever go by. There was a lot of activities. And there was planes. We saw a lot of planes go through, but we also saw things moving around up there. Satellites maybe. I mean, it was very active. The sky, there's so much going on up there that we don't really pay attention to unless you're an astronaut or maybe a space alien. Okay, this one is not really wanting to feed through like I like. You see how that's happening. So you do have to be careful with that. So I'm just gonna get a big fat bubble. They're beads, but it's fun to call them bubbles, don't you think? I do. So where are you guys from? Are you guys from Florida? If you lasted this long, thank you for being here. I live near what used to be a party town. I think it's calming down. They're trying to calm it down. But we do have this place called St. Andrews State Park, and you see sea urchins there on what is called the jetties. The children, it's shallow on one side, and the children play in the water. And you can kind of snorkel and see them. That one just sort of spread out, so we're going to pretend like it's 2 of them, I guess. That's what it wants to do. I didn't mean for that, but it is what it is. There we go. I said, everything here is experimental. But yeah, this is raffia. It was really inexpensive. And spread it out. It's this one is a shinier kind. Anyways, that's how you do it. To get one of these, and you just kind of tie the ends and work with it as long as you can. You can leave it just like that, or you just keep tying knots and then spreading them out, and you know, use beads or wire or what have you. But yeah, they're a lot of fun to make. So thank you for being here and watching my video. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to add some different things that I normally don't do, and trying to be a little bit more creative on my channel. I've taken a vacation for a few months and away from YouTube, so, and doing all this and trying to get everything organized. So thank you for being here. I think next time, I believe I'm going to start working on some little tassel angels. I like to work with paper, and I made a bunch of balls. Let me show you real quick. Bottom. My daughter's a finder of things, and she found this really awesome drawer, and thank goodness you couldn't see that because it's okay. All right, so these are made with paper. I blend up and make into clay, and I made several of these a few years back, and I had made a boggle bracelet for Valentine's with these, and then I took it apart. And then I've made other little things. I played with wire and straw. Excuse me, I'm across the room. And I made this little guy. I thought he was cute, but that's with straw, his little body and this. But I thought I'd make angels. I'm gonna try to figure out how to make an angel. I've never done it before, but I thought I could use these little balls and for their heads and do angels with tassels. I've got all kinds of ribbon. My sister makes these beautiful wreaths, and she has given me a lot of her leftover ribbon. So I thought, well, let me utilize that and do something with it. So that's what I'm going to do with these little balls. I don't know why I like to make these balls, but I also had decoupaged. I like to make these paper bowls, and I started making these little balls too. So I used to work in a furniture store and we used to have what I call deco balls. So I made some little deco balls to go in to the bowl. Let me show you the bowl. So it's a type of paper mache, and it's air dried. And I put little balls in there. So I thought they were really cute. But anyways, that's what I've been doing. Not really in the camera or anything, but you put them on a shelf. And it's just for look, or a coffee table, or what have you. But yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. Anyways, you guys have a great night, weekend, whatever, week, life, And thank you so much for spending time with me. Bye.